YouTube, Scott Off-Road. How you doing today? Well, we're in the garage working on the TJ. Got a axle seal that continually leaks on me. We've replaced it several times. Not sure why it's leaking. We have some ideas, but I think we're gonna tear into that today. So here we go. I really don't see any problems pulling this off. I just had it off a couple weeks ago. I think what's causing my axle issue, or part of the issue, years ago the axle seal started leaking, took it into a shop, so I didn't have the press to do it. They fixed it. A few months later the other axle seal started leaking, took it in the shop. They fixed it. Started leaking again, took it back, and it's just kind of an ongoing issue. Finally got fed up with it. I had a different shop look at it, and they ran the axle on a lathe and just sanded it, made sure there was no grooves. But they said there was a slight groove, and if it continued to leak, they would have to replace the axle. So, replaced the axle because it leaked again. Went with some really nice performance axles by, I can't think of the name right now, so I won't say the wrong one. But then, it started leaking again. And over the few years, it continues to leak. I'm not sure why that is. But I went to fix it a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, and I noticed that it had been cut, the axle on the, when they cut the old bearings and race off, they nicked the axle each time, and so there were several nicks in the axle. So, kind of bummed about that, because that was a, like I said, that was a performance axle. Talked to a couple people. I think what we're going to try to do is I'm going to clean the nicks out really good. This last time I kind of scuffed them up, tried to smooth them out as best I could, and put RTV in them just to get a smooth surface, and I think that was my downfall. In fact, I know that was my downfall this time. I think the better way to do it, what I'm going to do this time, is I'm going to get them cleaned out real good, and then I'm going to run high temperature, high strength epoxy in it, and then let that dry. Once that's dry, we're going to go put it on a lathe with an emery cloth and sand it so it's nice and smooth. But then I've talked to the people who sold me the axle, and there's a 3/4 inch difference in length between the passenger and the driver. So I'm going to, and I've talked to them, they say what a lot of people do is take the longer axle, and which is the passenger side, and cut off a little bit of it. And with it cut off, it's kind of maxed out on length for a driver's side and minimumed out on length for a passenger side. So I'm going to cut it, I'm going to put the bearings in it and get it all preloaded and just keep it as a trail spare. This is what we're looking at right here on the inside. I think some of the gunk you're seeing, I put extra silicone around in the inside of this just to see if that would help with the leaking. Well, almost got this race out. went and bought a bearing race puller and had two problems with it. One, I didn't realize it when I bought it, but I need a slide hammer to make it work. And two, it didn't fit the race that I have. So I'll return that. Here it comes. Oh. Come on. One race. Now to assemble the axle. Old seal doesn't look too bad. Mounting plate, spacer. Now I had to double check. I always question myself on this. But on this spacer, this backlash spacer, one side here is perfectly flat. On a Dana 35 C-clip, that goes towards the differential. You turn it over, there's a bevel here. This bevel goes towards the differential on a Dana 44. And that's per the directions for the disc brake conversion. And that's something I've always struggled with. I can never remember that. So I always sit there and scratch my head, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off, and this time I did something totally unique. I researched it. Who'd have thunk? You can look on the internet, download the directions, and do it right the first time. Can't imagine. Like I said, these seals get replaced about once a year. Not real sure why. I'm not sure what's going on with them. But I guess the one advantage is I'm getting good at it. Spacer plate, mounting plate. Backlash spacer, again with the bevel on the Dana 44 going towards the differential or towards the seal. My phone beeped. I got a text message. Woo! A new seal. On the seal, again, if you're not real sure on these, there's an opening in them with the spring that goes towards the oil, so towards the differential. One bearing. With the race, again going towards the differential. Oh, well, I want to apologize now. Apparently I turned everything on, forgot to hit record when I bolted up the axle. Oops. I was doing such a good job. And I am not going to remove it just to film me bolting it up. I enjoy making videos. I don't enjoy them that much. Now, if I would have had a brain in my head, I would have probably replaced the emergency brake pads while I was doing this. But I'm not the smartest guy in the shop. Good and tight. German tight. Good and tight. All right, YouTube. Rear axle seal. Again. Let's see how long this one lasts. Happy Jeeping. Have a blessed day.